So this is my friend Jalal Tanko. He is a poor man from Nigeria and needs help. Now this conversation is going to be a little bit different because I do not have his exact conversations with me, because by the time I got around to recording, his account had already been deleted. But I was able to keep my conversations back to him. So I'm going to summarize what he said, and then I'm going to show you my responses. Either way, it's one of the funniest things you'll ever hear, because I literally had him going everywhere under the sun, bought everything you could imagine from him, including his own son. So here we go. So the conversation starts out with him sending me this sob story about how poor he is, and he's willing to sell me his son for a little bit of money. And of course, I jumped all over that. I said, well, how can I help? And of course, he says, well, I have my son. I'm willing to sell him for money. I said, yes, I saw that already. When can I have him? Can you mail him to me? And then he says, I can do that as soon as payment is received. I said, great. Regular postal service or FedEx? And then he comes back and says, well, no, I can't send him through the mail. He's a human. I said, well, you said you could mail him. And he goes, no, he would not be able to breathe. I said, of course. He'll need oxygen tanks and food, being all cooped up in that box during transport. How senseless of me. How much food will he need after you mail him? And then he listed off a bunch of things that Jalal could eat on the way to me. I said, will that all fit inside the box with him? I don't want any more than necessary, because a heavy box costs more to ship. And then he says, no, must be transport. I said, oh, okay, so he won't be mailed after all. I said, why can't he just drive here? Now, of course, Nigeria is across the Atlantic, and I just wanted to pull his chain a little bit. So he says, sir, I'm in Nigeria. I said, well, how long of a drive is that? Maybe I can come pick him up instead. I will save that extra money for sure. Does he do tricks? He says, no, he doesn't do tricks. I said, he doesn't do tricks? Crap, what does he do? And he says, well, he is just a young man. He doesn't learn tricks yet. Then he tells me he is young, but he is highly intelligent and smart. I said, well, I don't want a smart child. They can figure out how to escape the padlocks. And he says, no, he's actually rather not smart. I said, you just said he is intelligent. Isn't that the same thing as smart? He goes, well, he's kind of smart, but not really. I said, okay, so he's kind of dumb then. That's probably better. He will get along with the other children I keep in the basement. They need a new friend, but I don't want him giving them any ideas on how to escape. Then I said, is he smart enough to fly a plane? That would save me lots of money if he could just fly himself here. He says, no, he is not that smart. I said, so will he allow me to lock him up with no fighting? He says, yes, he will agree. Then he says, well, he could fly here, but you will have to pay airfare. I said, no. I mean, can he fly the plane? And that conversation went nowhere. I said, well, that's not very helpful. Can he drive a car here? He goes, he can drive a car if you can teach him. I said, I don't want to teach him anything. I want him to drive to me from Ghana. Then I will put him with the rest of the boys and then sell the car. He says, that sounds like a deal. I said, that sounds amazing. You have a deal. And then he gave me a price of like $2,000. I said, well, no, that's too much. I said, he can just drive. And he goes, he cannot drive. I said, why not? People do it all the time. I said, I think you just don't want to sell me the boy. He says, what price are you willing to give for him? I said, well, I will give you $50. 75 if you can teach him a trick. The circus will give me at least 200 if he knows tricks. He says, he does not know tricks. I said, can he swallow swords? He says, he does know some African tricks. I said, are they different than regular magic tricks? He says, he can chew broken bottles. I said, chewing broken bottles, that's amazing. I said, I bet I could get $500 for that. He says, well, in order for him to come and for you to buy him, he will have to be sponsored. I said, sure, I will sponsor him. He will make a nice addition to my private collection. Does he have a tongue? It is tough to remove a tongue once they have achieved manhood. It's better when they are small. Then he decided he wanted to send me the paperwork to initiate the purchase of his son. So I said, I can send you my mailing address so you may write to me. 1264 Westfall Avenue, Clovis, New Mexico, 88101. I will await your letter. Then he came back later and said he needed more money because Jalal did not want to go. I said, every time I give you what you ask for, you tell me you need something else. I do not think I want to buy this boy now because you are making this difficult. I said, how does he taste? I prefer them to taste lean and not fatty. He says, he will taste fine with the right spices. I said, don't you love him? Why are you just giving him away? And how does he taste? He says, why do you keep asking that? I said, well, when I cut the flesh, it doesn't need to be fatty. That makes my poop runny. He said, dear sir, I am only selling him because I am near die and my family needs the money. I said, I'm sorry you're going to die. That's so sad. But that's so nice of you to sell me your kid. He says, well, how soon can we arrange for you to adopt him. I said, I don't want to adopt him. I'm selling him. He says, well, he'll need to be a citizen first. I said, I don't want him to be a citizen. There are too many illegals here already that my taxes pay for. I just need him to be strong and meaty. The circus pays well for that, but I have to get a slice for myself before he goes. Then I said, can he play the harpsichord? They pay extra for that. One-armed African glass-eating harpsichord players are in high demand. And can he have sex with multiple women at night? That's always good too. He says, I do not know. I said, they don't do that there? I said, he will have to do that here in America. He says, yes, he can perform long time, but he is underage. I said, I will have to check with my director to see if that's allowed. Acting is great for porn. That's awesome. And he says, he is 16. I said, ooh, he is too young. He needs to be 18 to be in porn. Damn. Do you have any 18-year-olds you're trying to get rid of before you die? He says, no, just my son. I said, do you have any animals then? Maybe an African elephant. The circus could use that. He says, well, they are hard to catch. I said, well, with a big enough net, you could probably get a good one. He says, well, he can eat broken bottles, so that is a trick. I said, well, in the U.S., you have to be 18 to legally eat broken bottles. Why don't you just message me again when he turns 18? He says, well, we can bribe the local office to change his documents to make him 18. I said, okay, make that change and I'll be waiting for you so I can purchase the young man. Have a great night. He says, I need $145 to make change to documents and bribe official. I said, does it have to be legal money or can I just print some out? He did not answer, so I said, okay, I will print $145 for you tonight. Let me have a postal address to send to, and I will put a stamp on the envelope and send it first thing tomorrow. He says, no, we don't have real mail address here, so you will have to send it over the internet. I said, well, I can send through PayPal. I'm covered by scam protection that way, so I'd feel better about the process. But when do I get the elephant? He says, soon, soon. I said, okay, how much to catch an elephant? Can you find a white one? That would be amazing. And he says, we can find an elephant and then we will paint it for you. I said, I don't want a painted elephant. I want a real white one like on National Geographic. Then he tried to sell me some other stuff. And I said, no, just the boy and an elephant should do. Then he says, we will need to gather a hunting party to catch the lion, at least 6 to 8 boys. I said, I see. What do you do with the rest of the boys when they are done? Can they be fed to the lions? I would pay to see that. Then he says, how soon can you make payment? I said, as soon as I can access my PayPal account. So I asked him, what is the total for the boy, the bribe, the elephant, and a video of the elephant catchers being fed to lions? I want to do it all, the whole thing. I said, just give me the total. And I said, oh, and don't forget the car he'll have to drive. How much is the elephant? You could at least throw in the video of the boys being eaten by lions for free. He says, well, we will have to go deep into the bush because elephants sleep weird hours. I said, I did not know the elephant sleep schedule. I am sorry. He says, when can you send payment? I said, well, I will try to get into my PayPal if I can. Once again, I said, so my total was $700 for everything. Okay, I will try to get it now. He says, please hurry. I said, I'm trying, give me a minute. I said, okay, I'm in finally. So then I went and created a fake PayPal receipt with the email address that he gave me, joycelosier@icloud.com. I think it looks pretty realistic. And I sent it to him. I said, now, when do I get the boy and the elephant? He says, I will send them immediately. I said, don't you need my address to mail them to? He says, yes, of course. So I sent him a different address than the one I gave him earlier. And I said, by the way, can you throw in some African spices? I prefer my meat a little zingy. He says, of course. I said, that's awesome. Thanks. You can just send them through Messenger as well. Then he says, I will get the paperwork started. I said, don't forget the boy must be 18 on paper for me to sell him legally. He says, no problem. So he sends me pictures of elephants that he supposedly captured, and they were not white. And I was a little upset. So I let him know that I was upset. And I said, well, I am paying for a white elephant, not the ones that you sent. Please advise, or I will have to retract my PayPal payment. Then apparently he told me that white elephants are afraid of the rain, so they are difficult to catch. I said, I did not know that white elephants were afraid of the rain. It rains a lot here. I hope that doesn't make him nervous. He says, no, it will be fine once he is trained. I said, I cannot have an elephant ruining my furniture or peeing on my carpet because he's scared of the rain. He says, it will not be a problem. You just need to train him. I said, okay, absolutely. I said, do they make good snuggle partners? I'm lonely a lot. They seem warm. He says, we need to go hurry and catch elephant. I said, better hurry and hope it doesn't rain. How is Jalal? Is he excited to be sold into the circus? He says, he doesn't feel comfortable with that. I said, well, that's not what we agreed on. Then he comes back and says, I need $500 more. I said, well, that's not what we agreed on. I asked you for the full amount up front, and that's what I paid you. You cannot keep adding extra. He said it will be extra difficult to catch the elephant. It will cost $300 more. I said, then you can pay the $300 extra out of what I already gave you. We had a deal. The boy, the elephant, and the videos. You promised me a white elephant. If you cannot deliver that, then we have a problem. He says, well, it's going to cost more to ship him. I said, well, elephants can swim, right? I see them swimming in rivers all the time on TV. Just strap Jalal to the elephant. But what about the car? He says the car will have to be shipped separately. I said, can't you just tie the car to the elephant's tail and he can just drag it here? He says, sir, you don't understand. I said, well, you said it was $700 for Jalal, the white elephant, the videos, the car, and shipping them all here. He says, well, the car will cost extra. I said, let's just not worry about the car then. I was just going to sell it once I got Jalal and leg irons downstairs anyway. Plus, I'm not sure how we could transfer title. So you keep the car. My gift to you for working so hard to get me my white elephant. You're a good man, Jalal. The next day, he comes back and says, great news. I said, great. Did they get my elephant? He says, no. I said, damn. He says, the local official is mad about what we were trying to do. I said, well, he's just going to have to be mad in the same pants he got glad in. He knew the dangers up front. Make sure they have plenty of bananas for Jalal. And what do elephants eat? They'll need some of that too. He says, well, we need extra money for worms. I said, what do you mean? He says, there's a worm that infects elephants, and we have to get medicine for him to fix it. I said, elephants get worms? I did not know that. He says, we have to get veterans to cure the elephant first before we can send it. I said, it requires ex-military men to inject it? I guess that makes sense. Elephants are big creatures. He says, yes, he is really big. I said, I don't want a fat elephant. My elephant needs to be lean and mean for the races. Elephant racing is a big business here, so skip the deworming. I said, can you give him some worms? That would make him extra lean and fast. I'm so excited. So he comes back again with more money request and extra about the car. I said, no. I said, keep the car. Just put swim floaties on the elephant. Jalal can control the steering with the elephant ears. What is the elephant's name, by the way? He never answered. He says, well, I am worried if we don't deworm the elephant, he will die. I said, the elephant will be fine. They live a long time. Let's call him Jake. But if Jalal dies during the journey, we will name the elephant Jalal in his memory. Isn't that nice? I said, I just want the elephant to win me big money so I can buy more sons from Africa. They are fun and taste like chicken. I said, I'm sorry, that was rude. Your son isn't dead yet. I said, you really are a great and honest businessman. You should have had multiple sons. Just imagine. He says, well, now the officials want more money. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know that would cut into your profit. Damn smugglers. He says, yes, they want 500 extra. I said, wow, that really cuts into your profit. Too bad you don't have more sons to sell. But you're dying, so it's not that big of a deal right now for you, I guess. Then he wanted me to pay again for what I had already paid for. I said, I have already paid for that part. He says, the local official is threatening me to report me. I said, well, just kill him. Wouldn't that be easier than negotiating? It's Africa. It's fine. He says, yes, he just needs more money. I said, I know, it's crazy. Everyone can be bribed over there. And if that doesn't work, suddenly they get eaten by rabid pelicans. So he comes back again with more money request. I said, no, I already paid for the elephant and Jalal. If you ran into problems, that's because you didn't prepare a proper estimate when I asked for a total, which means it's your problem, not mine. He says, well, in order for it to be legal to sell my son, it requires more money for paperwork. I said, I didn't know there was a legal way to sell your son. Why didn't you say that up front? I said, so one is illegal but okay. The other is illegal and not okay. I understand. I said, Jalal is not your problem once he is mine. He says, well, I hope you will parent him well. I said, parent him? No. I'm going to sell him to the circus once he is 21 and has performed in porn for me since he was 18. I told you that. He says, well, how much will he get paid? I said, he won't get paid. I will feed him and keep him alive and give him the necessities. What kind of inhuman ass do you take me for? He goes, you sound upset. I said, well, I am now. He says, well, how about a horse instead of an elephant? I said, I don't want a horse. We have those here and they taste awful. He goes, how about a lion? I said, are they cute like in The Lion King? So he sends me a picture of a lion. I said, oh, Mufasa. I said, can you get him for me instead of the elephant? I know people that would pay to make bodies disappear. He'd be perfect for that. I said, yes, forget the elephant. Tell your guy the deal is off. Get me the lion. On the next episode, I buy a lion and a panda and a medicine man. Stay tuned.